say that Jaxson Dart's officially struggling. Richard and I had a slight disagreement, nothing too crazy, yesterday about just how bad he played against South Carolina. I think that it was extremely poor for his standards, for sure. I thought he played really bad on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And he's 3 of his last 15, according to SEC StatCat, throwing the football further than 20 yards down the field. I know Juice Wells had a dropped touchdown pass, so it would have been 4 of 15 instead of 3 of 15. But he has got to be much better when those opportunities are there, because in the Kentucky game, less so in the Kentucky game, but still. And then in South Carolina, there were opportunities to hit deep passes to receivers that had a step, and the ball was either underthrown or overthrown. But he can be better because we've seen him be better in that category before. But I don't think you're going down to Baton Rouge winning when you're completing 50% of your passes and you're still 3 of 16 or 3 of 15 throwing the deep ball. If the opportunity presents itself and you cannot take advantage, I don't think you're going down there and winning. So he can be better, but he's got to be, or else they're not winning that game.
I mean, Dart and Judkins were why they won last year. Those two guys had big games against LSU. Obviously, Judkins is
so did Bentley, but
so it's going to have to be Dart and Parrish. They're going to have to show up in this game and give Ole Miss superstar performances.
Mm-hmm. And Trey Harris, we were asked earlier, but I expect him to play. I mean, we talked about it on.
And Harris, I connect him to Dart. If Dart has a big game, it's because Harris had a big game. Mm-hmm. Or if Harris has a big game, it's because Dart had a big game.
So that is that is it to me. It's an oversimplification, but I said yesterday, and I believe it, this game is all about Jaxson Dart. It is on his shoulders, because I like Ole Miss's matchups most everywhere else. I think Ole Miss's front 6 will be effective because it's really, really good, and that travels. I think Ole Miss's wide receivers have a mismatch on LSU secondary. Ole Miss's offensive line, this is the 3rd best defensive front they've seen this season. I mean, there's no Dylan Stewart on the other side of the field. There's no Kennard on the other side of the field. LSU would trade their front 6 for Kentucky's in a heartbeat, which is crazy to say, but they would. So I like the matchups, but if you're going to get quarterback play where you're only completing half your passes, doesn't matter, especially on